I had to lock. Okay. Thank you. Welcome to my week. That's about how this day has gone. Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns coverage of Big Brother 21. Today, I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, Tyler Lyons. Hello, Tyler.
Hi, Allison. How are you doing?
I'm shit-tastic. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted because Google Hangout is what we use, and it's going away August 1st. And before, I thought I had till October, but now I only have, okay, anyway, anybody knows?
I would assume that we just have to stream through YouTube from now on because Google owns YouTube. So yeah. I would assume they're just trying to like streamline that process instead of having like a separate app for it. But
okay,
we'll figure it out.
Maybe it'll be a whole thing. We'll test it. We're fine. I'm just sweating in places I shouldn't because of that, and it's hot as balls.
Okay. In Nicole's unseen crevices, you mean?
It's listen, it's hotter than Nicole's butthole. Is that right?
Right, exactly.
So,
yeah.
I know we've got so much to cover. We already have Mars in the chat. Bambi's dead. Forgivens, I know, right? Yeah, there's a lot. Christy overheard Cliff Notes. Hi, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Hi, Weston. Guys, I don't even know where to begin. First of all, I'm so happy to have Tyler back. A lot has happened since the non-eviction of Ovi and the return of David. We've had N-bombs dropped. We've had butt love in the shower, loose lips sink ships kind of things going on, snakes in the grass. Where do we want to start?
Yeah, so just a little housekeeping for how this show is going to go. It's probably just going to be a lot of us bitching about how bad the season is. We don't have like a format of how like we're doing the show, but we're basically just going to cover and I feel like we're probably going to get into it right away in terms of like spoilers. So we will be spoiling like who wins the power of veto, what they do or do not do with it, and who is probably going home for the week and everything like that. So if you are spoiler averse, the show is probably not for you. If you are sensitive to any bitching about how terrible these house guests are, this is also not the show for you.
I feel like we should also, if you have issues with talking about sex at all, any kind, it's probably not a good idea for you to watch this episode because we're going to get raunchy.
Yeah, and we're going to last more than 45 seconds, unlike
46 seconds.
So, of course, let's start with the facts, the competition. So, of course, we see Jack win head of household, and we were all rooting for Jessica to win this. I'm not gonna lie, like it's. Yes. It came down to those two. I was really excited to see what she would have done with this HOH, especially with all of this supposed girl power brewing, the Black Widow alliance forming, and then unfortunately crumbling because Jack is HOH and Isabella can't keep her mouth shut to save her life. So of course we see Jack nominate Jessica and Kemi. And of course we're nominating the minorities instead of the white people. So it is so like just like blatant like racism this season. Like, of course, so we have like David, that's the first boot. We have Ovi, who's the second boot, and then Kemi is probably on her way out the door. It's not going to be a good look for CBS when the 4 people competing in the competition to come back are all people of color, and that's like where we're headed, unfortunately. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I think and this is just my 2 cents. I get what you're saying, but I just kind of feel like Jackson's really too stupid to be racist. I mean, he and Jackson are so dumb that they sit there in the kitchen with mics on and no, there is no basically. They call David the N-word twice.
Yeah.
Jack did it, and then Jackson did it.
Yep.
So, or vice versa. It didn't matter. They both did it within 2 seconds of each other. And we're not making it up. It's out there. It's on Twitter.
And they also refer to Jessica as Consuela. And yesterday on the live feeds, Jack, he did a sort of impression of David's walk and added a little bit more thug to it, if you will, which is just not a good look either. It's so offensive. It's so terrible.
Here's the thing. I just think he's ignorant. Okay. And growing up in the South, I see a lot of, unfortunately, I see a lot of racism and I see a lot of racist. And then I see people who are just ignorant. On one side, you've got people who are just stupid, blind, ignorant, don't know what they're doing, just stupid, ignorant. And then, you know, a racist to me, and from what I've experienced, lives and breathes the racist life. There is no black, white. There's only black and white. There is no gray area. And that's what they live. That is their life. That is their mantra every day. Hate, hate, hate. As where someone who's just ignorant, it's just diarrhea of the mouth, just comes out without thinking, doesn't back it up, and just moves on, and then starts doing imitations of monkeys. Yeah. Calling, you know, a Latino girl Consuela when her freaking name is Jessica.
And the worst part is production has given Jack a talking to about his behavior, which I think is something they shouldn't do, because it's influencing how he's treating people, how he's talking to people, and that in turn can affect like how like alliances are being formed and everything like that. Like there are definitely ripple effects for gameplay for production kind of intervening. But even still, after production says like, hey, you might want to think about how you're talking to people, especially when millions of people are watching you at any given time, he still does not change his behavior, and he is pretty unforgiving about it. I will give Jackson a little bit more credit here, because he got a talking to as well. And since then, he's kind of tried to dial it back a little, to be a little bit more sensitive to how he's coming across and picking his words and actions a little bit more carefully. But Jack, like, he's just the total opposite. Like, he gives no fucks.
Yeah, Jackson has been all about himself from day one. So it makes sense, you know, how he really is going to look out for himself. Yeah. But I just think it's stupid. And, you know, it's like I said in the group chat, hold on one second. They absolutely know that's wrong. Come on now. They just don't give shit. Hey, Rebecca, I hear you. Yeah. I really hear you. Here's my argument. We have Willie Hance, who got kicked out for headbutting Chef. What was that girl's name that got kicked out for throwing a mic?
Shima.
Shima got kicked out for disrespecting production, throwing a mic in the pool, doing, you know, just being disrespectful, shouting at him. Justin from season 2 held a knife to a girl's throat while they were drunk, joking around, which you shouldn't do that. That's wrong. So we can kick these people out, but we can't fully address the N-word being dropped at all. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I can. I don't get it. I really don't get why these people aren't being accosted. Why? I mean, you blatantly hear it. I don't get what is up with CBS, Rob and Cass, and Rob and Cass, who sits there and says the real fans get it. The real fans understand
she's living in a bubble, and she has no idea. But what's crazy to me, Allison, is that let's look back to Big Brother 15, right? Like the pegged like racist season. It took CBS a long time for them to bring it up on the show. And Taryn pointed out in the LFC Roundtable podcast yesterday, they didn't bring it up on the show until other people in the house started talking about the racism happening and kind of influencing like the strategy of the game. So maybe, unfortunately, we have to wait for the house guests to kind of get a little woke, which I think could be a little bit more difficult this time, because it's not like blatant racism. It's kind of between the lines. Miss Price in the chat says they have inherent racism. It's being racist without understanding what being a racist is, because it's in their bloodline. I think that's a really perfect way to put it. So we'll see if CBS like actually addresses this. I could see it going on for a long time without it being addressed on the show, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just think it's silly, and I don't want them Listen, here's what I would do if I were Julie Chen. I'd wait till one of them gets voted out and go, everyone's booing as they're coming out. Just sit down with them and go, so, the reaction from the crowd, how do you want to address calling David the N-word?
Yeah.
And just give it to him.
Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of one more racist thing that's actually coming from production. So we haven't talked about this on the show yet. But so Kemi was talking to, I think it was Annalise and Nick in one of the rooms. And she said that production told her to sass it up a little bit more. Production told her in the diary room to say, "Nuh-uh, girlfriend," and snap her fingers like this. And Kemi said back to them, "I literally don't even talk like that." So it's like they're trying to like encourage these stereotypes for these minorities. It's so awful. Like I feel like they want every Black woman that's cast on the show to be like a Devon instead of a Danielle Reyes. And it's unfortunate because not every person like fits that mold of that character.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And it's like I said, if they're not going to address it, let Julie Chen Moonves put them on the spot when they come out of the house.
Yeah.
I mean, this is wow.
It really makes me sick, and it makes me want to go to the Big Brother open casting call next year. And on the paper where it says like, why do you want to be on the show? I'm going to write on there because I'm tired of racist behavior, Instagram models, and people who don't know this game.
They're recruits.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you cast recruits.
Yeah.
You need people like me, Tyler, the Andrew Gibsons, the Bill Methlings, all of these people who really love the show and want to get the Brent Walkamonts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Alex Kidwells. Let us play the game. Let people like us on who want to play. Hey, we'll backstab, we'll be drama and extra, whatever you want. But you're not going to hear this kind of shit come out of our mouths.
Yeah. And I'm just at a point where like I don't know what to do with this show because I feel like it's like a dog that's like a little too old and like I need to put down, but I don't want to because I still love it. That's how I feel about Big Brother at this point. And
listen, and we're making Robin Cass's point for her. This happened and we're still watching and we're still talking about it. Speaking of things that are just ridiculous, let's talk about anal sex for a minute.
Annalise or anal sex?
Annalise or sis, or whatever you want to call her. Mm-hmm. Listen, she and Jack have been getting down in the shower. Listen, you got to release. It's part of life. We're all adults here. Everybody does it. But is it really necessary to go in the pantry and talk about it with the other girls? I don't know. I'm cut from a different cloth. I'm 42 years old. Yes, I talked to my girlfriends that I had about sex and things that you look, it's natural. Everybody does it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I do. But there's certain, with cameras, I don't know. I would smack my son 6 ways from Sunday the minute he came out of that house if I even caught wind of him having butt sex with a girl in the shower and talking about it.
So what we're referring to people that haven't seen on Twitter or on the feeds or whatever. So Jack and Annalise have been having sex in the HOH room. And, it's one thing to do it and kind of like be discreet about it. But she literally in the pantry said to Christy and Holly out loud, not even in like a whisper, she was like, his dick is so big. It's like the biggest dick I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm like, oh my God. Like she is one of the people that actually applied for the show. She's the one that said, my favorites are Danielle Donato, Jordan, winner of Big Brother 11. I don't give a shit about her last name because she sucks. But, like people that are like not on like this past season, like she is like a fan of the show. So she, out of like anybody remaining, should understand that like live feeds are on you 24/7. Be
yourself, be you. I'm not telling anyone to change. If that's how you are in real life and you want to talk and brag and then fine, do it. I don't care. But whatever happened to class? I know you're going to shoot me for this, but when I die, one of my funeral songs is from Chicago.
Oh, I hate that
The
show.
song, you shush your, I hate you. Anyway, because you shit on everything. Anyway, my funeral song, besides Let's Go Crazy by Prince, will be Class. You know that song?
I
Whatever
don't,
happened.
but it sounds appropriate.
I want everyone to Google the movie Chicago, and I want you to look up the song Class by Queen Latifah and Catherine Zeta-Jones. The world there's no class anymore. There's this young group of 20-somethings that have been raised to be so open with this fucking social media. Everything has to be out there. Everything, even your booty love. Everything has to be out there. I'm not talking about the last time I got laid in the Big Brother house. And if I was, I mean, I don't know. I'm an old woman. I have cats. What do you want?
And it's such a shame because it's just like a total 180 of the great casting that we had last year for Big Brother 20. You know, think about like our douchey like meathead like white guy. So we have Jackson this year, but we had Brett last year. So fun, so entertaining, not problematic. Instead of Christy, who is this like hippie girl, we had Caitlin Herman, right?
Right.
For the surfer guy, we had Tyler, and this year we have Jack. Like pound for pound, like the cast last year compared to this year is just crazy.
It's like they were trying to correct mistakes. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is the person that we should have cast in this category. And in some ways, I feel like they've got it right. Look, I'll be the first one to tell you, I did not like Caitlin Herman at first. Remember, I had an epic sized meltdown on this show. The fly swatter was swinging. I think I hit myself. I mean, the bottom fell out. Now, the fact that she can laugh at herself and she owns her shit.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Christy, I think that's what they were going for last year. And now they're getting what they want. But also with Christy, I feel like there's a lot of, I don't want blood on my hands. Yeah. I don't want this. And you can't play this game without getting blood on your hands. You will, the first vote. I mean, even if they put Cliff up the first week and he was gone, that's still some kind of blood splatter.
Right. I will give her a little bit of credit, though. Now that she is out of head of household, she is doing a better job at keeping her emotions in check. And I think that she's in a good spot within this alliance because, say, like an opposition to the Grateful Eight gets power, gets head of household. I don't think they're coming after Christy or Tommy first. They're going to go after Jack. They're going to go after Jackson. These kind of like bigger guys, or even Annalise, really. So they're doing a good job at not being at the top of the total poll, especially because Christy had HOH last week. You would think that she would be higher up because of that. So I'll give her a little bit of credit, but you're right. Like it's also she let it slip on the live feeds that she is friends with somebody in casting.
Why am I not surprised?
And Jackson and Holly were following each other on Instagram before the show. They said on the feeds.
How am I not surprised? Look, this is the same thing as in show business. It is who you know. It's who you freaking know.
Yeah. So then what's the point of like these open casting calls and sending in videos?
Let me tell you something. I was in the shower thinking this very thing this morning.
What's the point?
I'm so glad you brought that up. What is the point of dragging us out to come to these open casting calls?
It's like it's for a facade. It's for like for show, you know?
To make it look like they're actually paying attention and actually doing so. I mean, I drove 4 hours, which may not be a lot to some people, to Nashville to go to that shit show of an audition where a certain high up was there that I met and talked to. And she was more interested to, I'm sorry, no offense to these people, but these nothings that didn't even know what they were doing, had never auditioned before, and were just there to get Instagram followers and likes. And I could tell, I could smell it on them. She was more interested in what they had to say than me. I'm not tall. I'm not gorgeous. I'm not all of these things. Okay. I'm a little 4'11" skittle. Okay, I've been called Skittle because I'm the size of a Skittle.
I saw a picture on Reddit today that sums it up perfectly. It said, Big Brother minus Love Island equals the show that we want. And that is so true.
Let me tell you something. X on the Beach. I'm going to be watching X on the Beach, and that's going to give me everything I want on this July 16th on MTV.
That shit is so trashy. I can't wait for it.
So dumpster fire shit. I love it. I may come on do a damn show by myself that night. I may be laying in bed with a mask just looking like crap, and I'll talk about it. Is so bad. But you know what? We know what it's about. It is about sex and hooking up and being trash.
Yeah.
Big Brother is a freaking game. And you've got these people throwing N-words around, throwing butt sex around. I mean, it's just, look at me. I want it's not a game anymore. It's who can get the most famous after leaving this house. The evolution of this game is sad.
It is sad. It's really sad. You know, think about the high level of gameplay we had, like Big Brother, like 7, you know, like All Stars, like that early season. You know, think about that compared to, you know, which minority are we going to target this week is really like what it boils down to now.
I was listen to this. I was talking to Andrew Gibson the other day about and we were talking about not Andrew, this friend of mine on Facebook who from Memphis, Cameron. Hello, Cameron the Corruptor, if you're watching. He and I were talking about. I could read some of these texts that we sent back and forth. They're pretty funny. But he was like, what happened? Hold on a second. I'm going to pull it up. Why not? It's nothing bad. He said, where is he? Oh, my God. All right, I'm sorry. Talk about something for him.
Yeah, so Thomas the Talker says in the chat, and I've heard rumblings and rumors about this too. A lot of people are talking about Celebrity Big Brother potentially not being renewed for this winter.
Oh, I heard it was canceled. Is it done, or is that a farce?
Nothing's been confirmed, so I don't like to believe anything until it's Bible. But I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't be too upset about it.
You know, I think we were excited about Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother, the first go around because it was new. And then the second time around, it was just, what's that chick? Like, I don't even know her name. Lolo, whatever.
Well, the problem is, like, the first season, they had, like, actual celebrities. And the second season, I feel like, was all athletes in Tamar Braxton.
And don't shit on my Tom Green. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Me and my roommates still sing "Drinking coffee is a lot of fun."
Okay, I'm gonna read you this text.
Yeah.
I broke it to. I give Cameron all the dish that I find out on live feeds, and I had told him about the N-word being thrown, and and he was like, "Why are these people on the show?" And I said, probably they want these guys to learn and grow from this experience. And who knows, maybe Julie Chen will say something to them. And he said, we should hope they learn and grow from their houses because, we should hope they learn and grow from their houses because they got kicked out for being goddamn racist. That's the learning moment for them and your chance to step up and be strong, CBS. And I said, I guess during my next audition and interview, I should dress like a real nasty trailer trash redneck hoe and talk about how I love anal sex and use the N-word like a comma.
And also tell them you have like 10,000 Instagram followers.
You know what he said? Just say you're not racist because you know one black person. That's all you need to. That's all they need to hear.
Exactly.
And I said, true. I said, I can just picture all of the Big Brother producers sitting around with MAGA hats. And I'm almost done.
Seriously.
He said, I mean, it would be fucking nice if they would have regular looking people for once instead of 90% of them being jacked up or super fit. They are going to fuck and say off color shit. Normal people are far more interesting. And I said, I mean, the guy that won Big Brother season 1 had one motherfucking leg. They need to kick it old school ASAP. And he said, even Evil Dick is out here tweeting about how dumb these people are.
Yeah. Couldn't have said it any better myself. So let's flip the script and talk a little bit more positively about some shining diamonds in the rough.
Yes, let's. I apologize for going on. I get a little.
No. It's okay. We're reporting what we think. That's part of it, and hopefully it turns around for us. So I think that Nicole is actually doing a fantastic job here, and I have had like a 180 in terms of like my preseason thoughts about her, because she was talking about like locking her brother up in the basement and calling the cops on her parents. And I'm like, who the fuck would let this school teacher teach their kids?
I had a shit fit about it.
But she's doing a great job. And she's pretty savvy to the fact that Isabella is the one that ratted out this girls' alliance. And I'm curious to see what Nicole is going to do with that intuition. I would love to see a Nicole HOH win, but unfortunately, this twist really dampers making big moves because they're living with people in the house after they're evicted. And it's a guaranteed now that one of these 4 people is going to come back. It's not even like a maybe because they're like out of the house and they don't know for sure when it's coming. They literally have like a deadline on the calendar. Like, this is when these 4 people who you're still living with are going to compete to come back. So why would you make a big move? And like, if you're Nicole and you win HOH, why would you put up Jack and Jackson knowing that one of them could be coming back?
Let me ask you a question. This is something that I was thinking about in the shower. All of my stuff comes to me in the shower.
You have a lot of shower thoughts.
When I can't write anything down or record it. Oh, by the way, Mars says we should have our own show on Sirius XM.
Thank you, Mars.
And I don't know if anyone tripped coming out of the DR room, Thomas, but I would love to see that. Put that shit link right in the comments. What I was going to say was when I was thinking, here we go. I'm having that moment. What were we talking about?
A shower thought about the people returning and why. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm getting there. What if the 4th person, if one of the 8 Grateful 8, whatever, are HOH. What if that 4th person that they evict to Camp Comeback is one of their own, and then they just vote that person back in, and those other people, the other 3, just go away?
Well, yeah, that's the fear, is that we're all worried that instead of a competition, it's going to be a vote with the house guests, because like their production is making a point to say like they can't compete in competitions, but the social game is still on. So that makes me think that that the house guests are going to vote for whoever it is to come back in. So
did you see Sunday night? I'm sorry to interrupt, because it just made me think of this. Ovi said his power is still good.
Yeah.
If he comes back in the house. How?
Yeah, so I think that's very on brand for Big Brother, and like a big difference between something like Big Brother and Survivor. The integrity of the game and the production's understanding of what is fair and what is not fair is just not there. Hey, that rhymed.
Didn't know it.
I will say that I like the sense that he's able to use this as kind of a tool to ingratiate himself back in if he is the one to come back. So it's I think it's allowing a little bit more strategy than the opposite. Like if he didn't have that power because he was evicted. Okay. So I think that's their thought process there.
I gotta tell in the chat, I keep forgetting he's there. I keep forgetting Ovi is there. It's like to me, whenever I'm on the live feeds, like I get on the live feeds early in the morning because, as everyone knows, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, I get 4:30. Now I get up at 4 o'clock so I can watch the live feeds. Mm-hmm. And because it's only 2 o'clock in the morning there. And yesterday, as soon as I went upstairs to take a shower at 5:30, guess what happened? Shower sex.
Anal sex.
Yep. I missed it. I missed the grunting, the moaning. I was in the shower too at the same time thinking about Big Brother, but I was not thinking about that kind of Big Brother.
Yeah. So another shining star I want to talk about because he's recently under a little bit of fire too is Cliff. So Cliff is a live feed watcher. He's very much so like a super fan like us. And I would do the same thing if I were in the house, but he does what's called cliff notes every day, where he basically just talks to the cameras and he says, like, you know, this is what I'm thinking. This is my perception of the game. This is where I think everybody's at. And this is what I think I need to do. And that's really, you know, Dan used to do this in Big Brother 10. He would wake up, go out to the hammock and do it. But the reason Dan did it on the hammock is because he had sight of anybody coming into the backyard and coming up to him. You know, Cliff today was doing his cliff notes in one of the bedrooms, and the other 2 cameras flipped to Christy right outside the door listening in. So she hears him say, I think Christy and Tommy are super tight. Here's who I think is in this big alliance. I'm worried about like these people winning power. I don't like, he just gives her so much information. And I'm like, Cliff, like you should know better as like the super fan of this show than to be, than to like where to do this inner monologue out loud. So unfortunately, like his game is a little up in flames right now. I'm sure Loudmouth Christy is not going to keep this to herself for very long.
Oh, heck no.
So it's only a matter of time. And what's a shame, Allison, is that Cliff was doing a great job with exactly what he needed to do for his type of like older person in the house, super fan archetype. He was doing so well. And I feel like he's playing a great under the radar game, but now it
is so funny that this happened because, and I want to give a shout out to Anelda, who she's not in the chat right now, and I wish she would come on the show. She sends me stuff all the time, and she's been a follower of My Weekly Meltdown for 4 years. God bless her. She sent me a message about this today, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And the timing couldn't have been better because Cameron and I were texting last night, and one of the earlier texts was, he goes, how is Cliff not on the radar? And I go, I know, you know, you would think the older guy would ever, but I guess the guy's got game. He really knows what he's doing. Fast forward less than 12 hours later.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying Christy spilled it to Jack, Holly, and Tommy 2 minutes later. She told Jack, Jackson, and Tommy, and also Nick, Sam, and Bella now know also. So basically everybody knows Cliff's perception of the house. And
are they going to confront him? Is that, or are they just going to keep it to themselves?
I mean, well, we haven't talked about veto yet. So Sam won the next power veto. He decided not to use it. So it's either Jessica or Kemi going home. So like they have their sights locked on Kemi for this week. And I could see Cliff being the 4th one out because of this, either Cliff or Jessica. And then that's your first 4 competing in the competition.
So if one of Grateful, let's be real, probably will become HOH next week. It'll be Cliff or Jessica. Yeah. And what
it'll
if one
probably be those 2 on the block?
Well, what if one of them wins the veto and
Catherine?
Catherine. Okay. Yeah. So Catherine's got a boyfriend outside the Big Brother house.
Talk about that too. God, we have so much shit to talk about.
So much fun. And we're only a week.
I'm so upset.
I love it that she goes into the Big Brother house once again with a boyfriend and just and look what she dumped this guy for. Mm-hmm. A guy that likes to be called Mickey. Nothing wrong with the nice Mickeys out there, but you've ruined Mickey. All the Mickeys, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Rourke, all of them.
Like a letter of decease.
Mickey Rooney, all of you ruined it. Rant.
I'm reading the chat right now. They're saying they want Cliff and Nicole gone. I could still see it being Jessica or Catherine that leaves, though.
But Nicole is... I mean, do you want to talk some more about that?
We don't really have to talk about it too much. Just basically that Catherine had a boyfriend outside the house. They are no longer a thing, and they shared like all these first saying like, "I love you so much, babe. I can't wait to be back with you." They're asking me questions about showmances. I would never. So,
oh my God,
do what you will with that information. I will say though, I am finding Catherine entertaining.
Yeah,
she's a little bit more likable to me than I would like to admit. And I like that she's kind of this just like ditzy, like funny, like that segment with her saying, "Are y'all conspiring against me?" That shit was so funny. Like we watching the live feeds, we knew that she said it like a couple times, but that super cut of her literally saying it like 10 or 12 times, that was so funny to watch. And I don't know, she's not your typical like unlikable blonde bimbo. Like she has a little bit of rootability to her. So I would like to see her stick around and maybe fuck some shit up.
Oh, she's a hot mess.
Yeah.
And that's what we want, a hot mess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
What is this Mickey or Jackson? He calls himself, I am king. He calls himself king?
Of course he does.
Does he really? King of what?
Listen, we've seen his morning wood, and I'll tell you right now, he is not no king.
He doesn't have like a chin.
No.
Okay.
He's a very strange person. I do want to talk
Reminds me of a platypus.
I want to talk about Sam though, just because like I was super high on him preseason.
Wait a minute, you want to talk about Sam?
I want to talk about Sam. Yeah.
Oh my God, Sam!
Before we destroy everybody's eardrums.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Me too. But yeah, so I don't think that Sam really needed to win the second power of veto. And I feel like it's making him a little bit bigger of a target than he needs to be, right? Like he's like one of the older people in the alliance, and he's like sweeping up all these comp wins and stuff, beating Jack in competitions that I don't think he really has any business winning. He's not doing anything with these vetoes either, so it's literally just a win to just kind of secure your own safety. But I'm still like pretty high on his position in the game. I think that him and Nick, and like I was saying with Christy and Tommy, like I think those four are kind of like at the lower half of this big alliance. I think is like the sweet spot that you need to be in, because they're sweepable by like the people outside of the group once this 8 crumbles, but they're not going to be like the first ones targeted out of that group. So I still hold out hope for Sam. Nick, I was totally correct about, I will say, because everybody was like, oh, he's in the mental health profession. Like he's going to be so great at this game. He's a therapist. He knows how to read people. And I said, what did I tell you? I said, his interview with Ika, he was just a horn dog from start to finish. And it was just this like gross, like straight male, like nasty, like pickup lines and stuff. And that's exactly what he's done with his entire time in the Big Brother house so far. He's been hooking up with Isabella. He just like has this kind of like creepy, like sexual vibe with all the women. And he's not really doing too much. He's fallen into a good position, but no, by no like game moves of his own. And I don't think that he realizes the good position he's in.
He's just lay low, bro. Stop winning stuff.
Yeah.
Just stop. And here's the thing about Nick. He looks like he should have been on Big Brother 2000.
Yeah, I agree with
what's
that.
Happening here? What's happening here?
That is so true. That's a good call. Let's see who else. The only ones we really haven't talked about otherwise are is Holly. Holly, it really is just a piece of Angela furniture at this point to me. And Tommy, who I think is still playing an excellent game. I think that he's still definitely one to look out for, one to maybe bet some money on for the win. I think that he's really going to make it far and deep into this game. He's like the one likable, like shining star out of just like this massive pile of shit.
I like him. I think that his dramatics, though, cost him a lot of time in that Whacktivity competition.
Oh yeah,
with
that's
the snakes.
True. Yeah.
And oh Lord, I can't. I was watching that Sunday, and Well, now the Whacktivity, of course, was won by Aquadump.
Yeah.
Jack Aquadump, whatever, and he can replace a veto during the veto. If he doesn't like who's playing, he can make someone pick again or something like that.
Yeah, so basically after the players are drawn for veto, if he doesn't like it, he basically forces all the chips to go back into the box that I am never convinced has all the house guests in it.
Oh, no, no, no. You know it doesn't, honey.
No fucking way.
This is how we're going to find out the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this.
Like it's gonna be like Jack, Annalise, and Holly picked, and he's gonna like reset it, and then it's gonna be Annalise, Holly, and Jack picked or something.
You're gonna pull out two. You're gonna pull out two Jacks.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Right.
Why are there two Jacks in here?
Yeah.
Why are there
exactly.
3 Jacksons?
Yeah. I think that Ovi's power is far more powerful, but it looks like it's not even gonna become a thing. So we'll see what that third power has in store. Hopefully, it's a little bit more powerful. But I will say I do like that these twists have like expiration dates on them.
Yes.
They're not some like really overpowered thing that like we've been seeing a lot on Survivor lately. So that's one thumbs up to production. But I'm not going to give them any more credit outside of that.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea.
So just to wrap it up, it looks like Kemi is out the door pretty unanimously too, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens with this next HOH. Man, if Cliff won HOH right now, that would be pretty clutch for him.
Oh, who do you think Cliff would put up?
That's a really great question.
I can't answer that.
Maybe Jack and Holly together as like I'm targeting like a showmance, or in that same vein, Jack and Annalise. I don't think that he would put up Sam just because they have that father connection, like they stated last week.
Do you think though?
Maybe Nick and Isabella.
Yeah. Do you really think he has the balls or the backbone to really put up a big target like Jack and Jackson?
Yeah. So maybe this is a situation where Nick and Isabella get targeted, but it's probably going to be a crapshoot HOH, to be honest, because I'm sure they're saving the first endurance competition for after like those people, like the 4 evicted people compete in that competition. I'm sure that first HOH after that would be a perfect time to do the first endurance comp of the season.
Yeah. Because, production picks the comps by who's there and who's participating. So if they want Jack to win, they're going to have a Jack-friendly comp.
They're going to have an anal competition.
They're going to have an anal, a
dick measuring comp.
They're going to play cornhole.
Yeah.
And if they want Cliff to win, what's he good at? Sitting and talking.
Big Brother trivia. I don't know.
Yeah. What's he good at?
Yeah.
Nothing really.
Yeah. Talking too loud.
I'm not trying to be an asshole. Just telling on himself.
Talking too loud. Yeah.
Making tie-dye hats. I don't know.
So,
being crappy.
So we'll see. But God, I really hope that things turn around for
belly flops. Somebody said, "There we go, belly flop."
There you go. Yeah. Perfect. So that's it for me. Unless you had any other things to say. Sorry that this show is a little bit more on the negative side, but that's what happens when we get a season like this so far. I'm going to be honest, like no matter what the season is or what kind of consequences that might have for me, I will always be honest about how I'm feeling about the season, because the potential for Big Brother is amazing. Like when Big Brother is done right, when the casting is right, when the strategy is good, when the characters are amazing, when the twists are really minimal and the comps are amazing, like it is such a great roller coaster of just emotions and entertainment and strategy. And unfortunately, I feel like we are like distilling that with water, and we're getting like a watered down version of what this show once was.
I think that, the real fans are the ones that are having a hard time like we are.
Yeah.
The ones that have been there from the beginning. And I think
I should check in with my grandmother. She's like she's a casual fan. I would love to see what she thinks about the season so far.
And I think the people that are only, I don't want to put down anyone who just started watching, because I don't think that's fair, but I can definitely see how people who haven't been watching it very long, who maybe have only been watching it since 16 or 17 and 4, I can see why they're, oh, well, this is just Big Brother. What do you expect? As where like people like us who've been watching for 19 years,
We're saying this isn't the show we love.
This isn't the show that we love. And I will continue to cover it. You know, that will never change. I do wish that people at CBS, the big dogs, would step up and clean house a little bit and go, you know what, this is ridiculous. We can't have this kind of negativity and in-words and just ridiculous inherent racism on this show. You need to go. I don't care how hot you are. I don't care how popular you are. This is a moral decision.
Yeah.
And you need to go. And if someone had stepped in when it happened immediately, I would have more respect for them, because, you know, they keep other people in sequester in case something like this happens.
Yeah.
Or at least they did in the old days.
I mean, compare this to ABC when they were airing the Roseanne reboot, and how quickly they pulled the plug on that entire show once Roseanne had that tweet about that black woman being a gorilla.
Yeah, and she didn't even say the N-word.
Yeah. I mean, then the network took action. They cleaned house. They started over, and they gave like the rest of the cast like the spinoff show, The Conners. But they really came down and gave like actual consequences to people that are saying these inappropriate things that are associated with that network. You know, this behavior of Big Brother, they can have that stupid little thing at the beginning that says their opinions are not associated with CBS, but they are a reflection of your network because you are choosing these people.
I am holding Julie Chen responsible for calling them out when they are evicted from the Big Brother house.
She should.
And if she doesn't say something, I don't know why I can't stop farting, because I get spit under my desk. If she doesn't say something, I will have a 10-minute tangent. You guys just mute, take a nap, pee, whatever. I'm gonna flip out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip out. I promise you. I don't like this kind of crap at all, especially when kids watch this kind of stuff. And, you know, I have a nephew and a niece that are obsessed with this show, but luckily they don't know about this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't know. And my little nephew, he's 11. His favorite player is David.
Yeah.
He wants David to win, you know, and my niece is like, well, that Jack guy seems kind of full of himself. I don't really like, you know, he's cute and all, but he's just kind of seems conceited. Oh, girlfriend, you have no idea. Yeah. And right. And they're saying, oh, that's you. Right. It's the Jack and Jack. Yeah. I wonder if we could get through one episode without talking about them. That would be great. Here's the thing. Yes, I'm watching Love Island tonight. Yes.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that show.
That comes on at 7. That's in an hour and 10 minutes. Allison's already got sweatpants on. I'm only dressed from here up because I got to do this with you people because I love you. I want you to keep watching, and I don't feel like you need to see me in that way yet. We're not that close yet. We're not shower close yet. Did Sis shower today? I don't know. I've heard she's stanky. I don't know what you mean by stinky. I don't know much about the anal sex because Allison has never done that. So I don't know if that gets all over you, if it's on you when someone's done. I don't know anything about it. So I don't know why she's stinky. I am ignorant to that, and I don't want to talk about something that I don't know anything about.
I'm happy to answer any questions for you as a game man.
I mean, if you want to clarify something, I'm not going to ask you to, but if you want to help somebody, like, why is she stanky?
How successful and smooth it goes depends on a lot of things. One being what you've eaten. You know, I wouldn't recommend it to somebody who ate Chipotle 20 minutes ago, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, I can't even eat Chipotle in the food court at the mall without having the V line to the potty. Okay. Ooh.
It depends on your fiber intake too, and just how experienced you are with how much you've taken. And apparently Jack is a big number. But my question is, like, they're not providing any lube. You know, that is my question, is like, how did he like get in there if they're not like providing lube to these house guests? That is quite the the pain tolerance if that's the case.
I guess that spit's not gonna cut it. Okay.
No, spit does not work. But that's it for me on that
Yeah,
note.
I think on that note, thank you for that education. I did not know that. Use shampoo. Well, wait a minute.
Don't use shampoo.
You're gonna
That's
fart
dangerous.
bubbles and burn your booty up.
There's chemicals in shampoo that's dangerous for that. It should be a water-based lube.
Water-based lube.
Yeah.
This has been But Love with Tyler Lyons. I hope we're all educated.
Yes, I'm happy to answer any more questions anybody has.
Because now I don't have to have that in my Google search forever.
So if you have any more anal questions, you can find me on Twitter. You can tweet me at tlyons, TLYONZZ. I'm happy to educate anybody on the topic.
Yeah, and don't at me about that because
please at Allison.
Please don't. I'm on Twitter at Summers SOMM.
I'm sure Deb knows a thing or two.
Deb knows. She knows. She knows. I know a lot of girls that know and a lot of guys that know, but Allison don't know, and Allison's fine with that.
Yeah, she has locked it up and thrown away the key.
This just tried one time. Flew through the headboard almost, and that was almost got knocked out, and that was just the end of that. So, on that note, Twitter at Summers SOMMERS 1977. I really hope no one I work with or related to is watching this right now because damn. I'm on Instagram at the.memphis.darling. Please follow my cat Finley, who has been shot in the butthole with a Nerf gun by Captain Obvious a year ago on the 4th of July and wonders why he bites him.
That is so good.
And you want to know the truth? It was an accident. But it was so funny just how it happened because it hit him and he how cats jump up all four legs at the same time? He went up in the air like, woo! Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, follow Finley on Instagram at Finley's Insty, and that's FINLEYS_INSTI. I have no butt stories, but my cat does. Please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown on YouTube. You will get notifications when we go live, and you can like it on Facebook, My Weekly Meltdown. And I will be back tomorrow night. I'm going to try doing it again Wednesday, not anal stuff, but the show. I'm going to have 2 Sequester alumni. I'm going to have Kim Matina and Andrew Gibson. And I'm sure one of them who drinks a lot, I won't name names, but her name rhymes with Jim Adhina, might put her 2 cents in about some booty love.
Oh, my God.
Just saying.
Can't wait to watch that show later.
Oh, gosh. So we'll be live at, Big Brother's killing me with this later hour. So it'll be 10/9 Central tomorrow evening. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. We love you very much. We appreciate it. And Tyler, you will not be on Thursday's show, right?
Right. Yeah, I'll be on next Tuesday.
He'll be back next Tuesday. So at him about how much he sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, love you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow evening at 10/9 Central. Bye.
Bye, guys.